Heyo, Stoic here. Hey, welcome to the Bedrock Guide. In this tutorial, we'll be making a starter gold farm. This is our zombified piglin starter gold farm. Yep, we're going to use some nether portal spawn mechanics and a trident killer to collect XP and some loot. And in about 10 minutes, I was able to pull in this much loot without a looting 3 sword. And this equates to about 58 gold ingots in 1 hour. So once you get that looting 3 sword, or any looting at all, you'll start pulling in more gold as you want to. But honestly, this is just the start. We don't need a whole lot of room for this thing. We can put it underground. We can also just have a simple collection system here, and we can put all this stuff into a blast furnace, get more nuggets, and just keep cleaning it up. We don't want to have a whole big storage system this early on in the game because that gets expensive, but we can just have this thing running in the background, getting us everything we need at the start. So what do you need at the beginning of the game? Well, I'll tell you. You're probably going to have some kind of storage system or collection system going on. So you're going to need some powered rails, and that's going to need a little bit of gold. Not too much, and this farm is going to get it for us. You can quickly upgrade some of your crops, especially the carrot, into a golden carrot. Yep, this one will keep you satiated longer, which means you don't have to eat quite as much. You can jump run a lot longer with a golden carrot. So yeah, this small upgrade is definitely worth it. So I know you're going to get a villager trading hall going right away as well. And you definitely want to take advantage of some of the trader discounts. So to do that, guess what? You need gold. Yeah, we're just going to hit this guy and me as well with some weakness. And then our golden apple. Golden apples are easy to get from trees. And we only need some nuggets to make a golden one. We don't want to spend all our time looking for a desert temple and just happen to find one. So we're going to make our own and start healing this guy right here. Yep, we're gonna start trading soon, and we're all gonna be happy. All right, let's talk about a couple Minecraft mechanics. So the nether portal is actually made up of nether portal blocks, and you can see the outline of each one here as I float by it. I'm in creative, so that's really the only way you can see it. And I can break it pretty easy in creative, which works for this example. But each one of these blocks in easy mode, whenever it is opened or created, it can give you a 0.05% chance of a zombified piglin coming into the overworld. This only works for the overworld. When we switch over to normal, you have a 0.1% chance of one of these portals giving you a zombified piglin. And then we ramp it way up when we get into hard, and we get to 0.15. Not really ramp it up. It's just a small ramp up again, but when you add it all up, it really makes a big difference. So when we're in hard mode, we have a better chance of getting a zombified piglin spawning into the overworld. So we've got 2 portals here because we can have zombified piglins coming in on the east side of a portal or the south side. So if we look up, the sun is coming from this direction. That is the east side. So if we were to create this portal, a zombified piglin would pop out on the east side of it. Now, this one is facing north-south. This is the south direction over here. So if we break this one and create it, we have a 5% chance of a zombified piglin popping up just like that. And it fell on this south side. So if we're looking at this, we'll recap it a little bit later. But if you're moving in the positive Z direction, we are going to have a south direction. If we're moving in the positive X direction, we are moving in the east direction. So positive directions are south and east, and that's important when we're looking at this farm. Now, you've probably seen this big old portal in other builds. Well, if you light this thing up, you actually have a 48% chance of summoning a piglin. And this is 21 by 21, which I believe is the largest portal you can actually have in the game. And in this case, we had 2 of them drop in. So there was a small chance that this one gave us a zombified piglin, and maybe this one down here gave us one. So when you have a bigger portal, you can have more zombified piglins coming into your world. So our portal on our farm is a 6% chance of a zombified piglin coming in, which is just fine by us because we just want a little bit of gold right in the beginning, a little bit of XP. And because of that, we don't have to have a massive storage system or smelting system in order to make that farm work. So yeah, this is going to be perfect for us. All right, the other big mechanic that we're going to be using in this build is an observer clock. And I'm going to make a small one right here. And you can see that the back side of it is blinking in this area. So what we're planning to do in this is to take advantage of that by, putting some lava over top of it. Because if you ever tried putting a block on top, that's 4 tries before it actually got on there. So what it's doing is it is reloading this area, and it is basically like a 0 tick, not really a 0 tick, but it's reloading whatever's on top of it really fast. And what we're going to do is take advantage of that because we're going to put a flammable door that's not flammable. Yeah, I said it. Flammable, but not flammable. Yeah, doors are actually wood and they will catch on fire and work with the fire spread mechanic of the game, but they will not actually catch on fire like this birch tree over here. Not that it deserves it, but it kind of does because it's birch. But anyways, that one's catching on fire and it's spreading everywhere. But when we put lava on this observer, it's going to start reloading that lava all the time, and it's always going to want to catch these doors on fire. And what we're doing is using that fire spread to light up our portal over and over and over again. So the more area of fire spread that we have, the more chance or higher chance we have of getting that portal to relight and give us more zombies. I don't know about you, but I'm ready to get started on this build. So let's get into it. All right, I found the spot where I want to put my farm, and it's going to be out here in the open, which kind of works out because the first thing we need to do is figure out which way is east. Yep, there it is. East is over there because the sun is rising, and also south has to be this direction over here. So if I just kind of put a little marker there, I know which way is which. In this case, I'm going to use the east direction for my farm. So if you want to do yours in the south direction, just make sure you understand which way that is. If you're underground or the storms are happening when you want to start, just know that if you move in the positive direction, you can see from my coordinates, I'm going in the positive direction for X, that is east. If you go into the positive direction for Z, you can see I'm negative right now, I'm getting closer to 0. That is the south, that is a positive direction. So that is south. So if you're downstairs, again, or if it's raining, that's the best way to figure that out. Let's get started. So east is that way. We're just going to go ahead and grab our chest, put 2 down just for storage. You can increase your storage as you get more loot. And we'll grab our hoppers right here. And in fact, we'll just put 2 down into it. And then a third one right into the side. We'll grab our rails, 1, 2, 3, just like that. Break the 2 right there. You can pick them up out of your chest later. Now we've got a curved piece. We'll put our hopper with minecart right there. And in fact, this actually puts us right in the center of our Trident killer. So we're going to pick up everything as long as the Trident killer is working. All right, I go ahead and I recommend this. Go ahead and box this in. You can use solid blocks or glass blocks if you really want to. As long as you're not bumping this, I say this because maybe you've got pets or maybe cow will walk over and hit this, or maybe a phantom because you've been out here so long will hit this. Just make sure that it's blocked. It's in the center. You can even come down and look up and see that it is in the right spot. But if you do walk in, there's a good chance that you'll bump it. So just be careful. And then we'll put a solid set of blocks right on top of it. You can have glass on the very edge, but the very center, you want to make sure that that's solid because our Trident will fall through eventually if it is glass. All right, I know that east is that way. And so I'm going to put my AFK position right here. And I'm going to go ahead and put a piston just offset of that all the way around just like this. We're going to grab some solid blocks and we'll just make our way back around this direction. Fill those in and put one in the corner. We're going to leave this one open because we're going to put a slab in, or 1 slab right there. That way we can collect our loot when we're standing right here. If not really loot, but XP, because our loot's going to go down there. All right, so let's grab our droppers, put them in the corners just like this, and we'll go ahead and put in observers in this direction. So make sure that the face is pointing a dropper and the red dot is going to be over top of a piston. And when we get to the slab, just like that, all the way around. So we're making a circle for our build. Find a solid block. These have to be solid. That way they complete the circuit all the way around. And now we've got most of our Trident killer complete. I say it's almost complete. Throw in your Trident right now, get it in there. And we're going to grab a solid block and put it right here on the side. Shift click to put it next to your dropper. And we'll have this lever right here. So when we're working on our AFK position, we can turn this on and off. All right, so this next part, we're going to grab our glass, redstone torches, and some solid blocks. So we'll just go level by level, just put glass blocks all the way around, 8 of them, just like that. And then we're going to grab a torch, put it right on top. Grab some more glass. This is the second layer right here. And then we're going to grab our solid block. Put a torch on top of that one. And then you guessed it, more glass all the way around. And we're going to get to our last row right here. So we got 4 height on these glass blocks. I put glass in just because I like seeing what's going on. You can use solid blocks if you want. And then we're going to grab another solid block just like that. And then a torch on top of that. Grab a torch and put it on the side right there. And then we're also going to place a solid block just in this direction. And we're going to throw down a piece of redstone dust. All right, with that dust in place, we can now just grab another solid block, put it right next to our torch, just like that. And we'll put our final torch on top of that. And most of our redstone is complete. So the next thing we can do is come out here on top of our redstone dust, grab a temporary block. You can use any one. You can actually keep it right there. And then we're going to put in a sticky piston. Might have to jump to make that one work so that it's facing up. And this is going to help stop our observers and help us reduce lag on our server or realm or world anytime we're playing. All right, come back to the center here, and we're going to put 2 more blocks of glass right on top of this spot. Put another one right there, and the edge of our portal is going to start in that spot. So that means we're going to put a glass block right here, build this side up, build this side up, build this side up, build this side up, and build this side up. That way, when we flow this zombified piglin in here, it has nowhere else to go but down and enjoy the ride at the bottom. While we're up here, before we forget, let's grab our button and throw it right there, just even with the block we're standing on. That way, zombified piglins think this is an actual block, and they step on it and hit on down. Now, we're going to go 8 blocks in this direction to make our water stream. So we're going to start with this one, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we'll go 1 more just like that and build it up by 2. And then you can come over on the side here. And then we're going to make this up by 2 as well. This will be the barrier to keep our zombified piglins in and keep them in their adventure to our Trident killer. We'll come over on this side then and just put 1 layer of glass right here, just all the way across. Hop on up and grab your obsidian. So you've got 1 here. We're going to go out 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Grab another block right there. We don't need to put another one in. You can. That's going to be the corner of our portal. And then we're going to go up by 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. And we'll put a corner one on right there. You guessed it, we're going to go back in that direction by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Corner one, and that'll help us get our portal in place. So come on back down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is our portal. This is the size we're looking for. This will give us a 6% chance every time it is lit up, and it's a good rate. It's a nice slow rate for early on, just enough to get us going. So let's get the rest of this thing in place. So let's go ahead and wrap up this farm. We've got our redstone torch. Grab your piston, and we're going to put it right here. This is going to help lock out the portal, make sure it can't come into being, just in case someone else is trying to summon in their own portal and it links to it. Maybe you're really close to everyone. This will help keep things locked out. We can grab our dispenser next and put it right next to that. And then shift click onto our dispenser, and we're going to come out here with our solid blocks. We'll go one more to the edge here, and we'll come out just like this, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll come all the way back around to this side, just like this. Build this thing up by 1, just like this, 1, 2, 3, just like this all the way around, because eventually we're going to have some lava in here. All right, with these blocks in place, we can now grab our observers. We're going to have a 1 block gap right here. We're going to go just like that so that the arrow is pointing towards us. And you're probably going to have to break these in order to make this work. There, we're almost in alignment, just like that. Everyone needs to be facing the same direction, which is over here. Go ahead and put your solid blocks back in. And then we can come over to this side, drop down, and we'll put in our last observer right here. We should see the red dot. That means we've got our base going that direction. Once this thing is energized, it's going to push it up and it will create a redstone clock. All right, come back to the top. We're going to go ahead and put our doors in, grab some jungle doors here, and we'll put them right on the edge, right on these solid blocks right here. Make sure these solid blocks are not wood. Any of these, really. That way they don't catch on fire and spread everywhere. All right, go ahead and grab a temporary block. Put it in right there over top of the lower observer. And one of these middle two, well, let's put it right here on this middle one right here. It's going to flow 2 blocks in this direction and then 3 blocks in this direction. Once it's done that, break that temporary block that's underneath there, and we'll be ready to get our water in. Water time. Put it in right here. It should go only 8 blocks right to the edge, and we're ready to push these zombies right into our farm. The next thing we want to do is to put our powdered snow bucket right in there. And if you're unlucky and you have not found a powdered snow area, you can use water, and it will be kind of disruptive on the flow of where the zombies go. If you do plan on doing that, make sure, honestly, I would put a little bit more glass on top just to keep things from jumping up, jumping out, and making its way down to wherever you're working. So powdered snow is nice because it's nice and contained, but the water will flow down, flow against this flow, and it will eventually go back in just enough for everything to go back down in there. So if it's a temporary thing, great, that's fine. But ideally, we're going to be using powdered snow. So at this point, we're done. So let's light this thing up. And sometimes it takes a little bit for that lava to get going, but this is the rate at which we're moving. Our powdered snow is breaking our portal, and the water would be doing the same thing. And our piston is retracted. Our Trident killer is moving, and here comes the party. All the way down, and it's time to get the loot. So like I mentioned, this is just a starter farm. It's just to get a little bit of XP, a little bit of gold, to get you moving on your food, your golden apples, some of your storage, and a little bit of XP on the side. This thing is nice, it's small, it's simple, and I hope you like it. So if you do like it, hit that like button, and if you want, go ahead and subscribe. That way you get the new content when it comes out. Bye-bye.